Ladies and gentlemen, the Tampa Bay Lightning are your 2021 Stanley Cup champions. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bay Bulls channel. As always, my name is Jake Ricker. Alongside me is my good friend and co-host Michael Wax. But that's not why you're here. You're here because your Tampa Bay Lightning are your defending back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. The cup is staying right here in Tampa Bay. What a time to be alive. Michael, how are you feeling after being yet again a Stanley Cup champion?
This is an amazing feeling. And I don't think words can really describe how most Lightning fans are feeling right now because they won the cup last year, but we didn't really get to experience this, with the fans in there for the cup clinching game. We didn't really get to experience the journey that the players went through. And this has been fantastic. And, there's only one goal to talk about. It happens to be the most important goal, one of the most important goals in Lightning history, but we have so much to get to.
Well, let's jump right into it and talk about this game and celebrate this win even more. I cannot wait for the boat parade coming up. That's going to be even more fun than it was last year. But let's start off with the first period. Going into this game, Lightning fans, I think, felt pretty good knowing that the Lightning are undefeated in the last two postseasons after a loss. And, the first 20 minutes to me, Michael, kind of felt like game four, where the Lightning were heavily out shooting the Montreal Canadiens. They were playing their game, getting a lot of good opportunities, but none of them could find the back of the net. And at the end of one, we ended up in a 0-0 tie after 20 minutes. I mean, but the Lightning did look good, I think, in the first period, but some fans might have been worried that this could have been a repeat of game number four.
Yeah, they looked good. I would say that they wasted a lot of opportunities again. If you're talking about a repeat of game four, they were given power play opportunities they missed. I don't know if this was the period where they took a very stupid penalty. I know Mikhail Sergachev penalty came later in the game, but it was the Cernak interference penalty. Very dumb penalty to take. But overall, I thought they were pretty good, like in this period. And you're going into the second, you're still tied up. The later you go, the more the whistles will go away. So you have to beat them at 5-on-5, which I thought the Lightning were the better team at 5-on-5. It was the power play versus penalty kill that was really killing them in this game. And I thought that was going to serve well for the Lightning, and it did.
Oh, the Lightning had multiple power play chances in this game, and their power play was not great. It did not hit, and that's also some of a credit to the Canadiens. That's also some, Alex Killorn not being in this game, which we'll get to him later. Which his comments after the game were pretty crazy. But Lightning's penalty kill was also fantastic in this game. They were fantastic in the second period, especially as well. But going into the second period, we're tied at 0. As things go on, Lightning is still getting some chances. The Canadiens, though, had a lot of good chances as well. And for a minute, Michael, I thought they were going to score. They had a lot of really close chances. I think Nick Suzuki even put one right off the crossbar, right above Andre Vasilevsky. And, it just seemed like they were pushing hard. But then the Lightning come back the other way, and it's a beautiful play as Ryan McDonagh puts the puck down to David Savard down low, who walks in and finds Ross Colton standing and battling right in front of the net, and he puts it home to give the Lightning a 1-0 lead in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals. A huge goal. Awesome job by Savard and Colton, all those guys on the ice on that play. Colton, a guy who was called up this year and has made such a huge impact on this team. A lot of credit goes to him. Very well deserved goal right there. But the Lightning are now up 1-0 at the end of two, and they are just 20 minutes away from becoming back-to-back Stanley Cup champions.
Yeah, and at the beginning of this period, I was actually really angry at David Savard because he took that delay of game penalty, and it's like if Montreal scores here, we're gonna have problems. But after coming back down the ice from a huge chance against by the Canadiens, uh, what a play by Ryan McDonough and David Savard, because we have talked so much about Ryan McDonough in these playoffs. He's arguably been the Lightning's best defenseman in these playoffs. There have been a lot of good ones, but he's arguably been the best one. And Savard has been right there with him in terms of defense. And Savard, to his credit, during the postseason, has done something that he could not do during the regular season. That's score some points. Like, he had no points, and I think it was 14 games with the Lightning in the regular season. He comes into the playoffs, and I believe that was his fifth assist of these playoffs.
Yes.
It's not much, but it's something, and that's all you can ask for. That's why we were so happy with Eric Chernak taking a giant leap this year offensively. Is he's putting up some points. We know how good he can be defensively, but he's contributing somewhat offensively. So not a ton in terms of the rest of this game. Uh, I don't know. Ross Colton becomes the third Tampa Bay Lightning player of all time to register a Stanley Cup game-winning goal, uh, joining Blake Coleman and Ruslan Fedotenko. So that should show you how your star players don't always come in handy at the end of these series. And man, it's just amazing. This is amazing.
This goal shows your depth and how important your depth is as well. Because the Canadians did a good job of shutting down guys like Braden Point and Nikita Kucherov. Point this series and Kucherov especially this game, but Ross Colton comes through, and I think the Lightning are once again proving that first round picks don't really matter. Is if you got a good team,
Mm.
you can trade them for some other good players, and they pay off in spades as they once again win another Stanley Cup, large part due to another David Savard trade at the trade deadline. So, but going into the third period, 20 minutes away, but the Lightning had to keep their foot on the gas because you knew the Canadians obviously knew their backs were against the wall, knew this could be the last game they play of their season, and they were going to give it their all, and they did, and they had a lot of more opportunities. But Andrei Vasilevsky, we haven't even talked about him. Only 19 shots, which in the grand scheme of things is not a ton of shots, but he stopped every single one of them and was stellar in this game. The clock started to tick down. My heart rate got even higher and higher as we got closer to the end of this game. And Montreal would pull their goalie. Fans were now on their feet with about a minute 24 left to go, I think it was. You could hear the crowd getting loud, seconds counting down, and the Tampa Bay Lightning win their third Stanley Cup in franchise history, second back to back now. It was amazing to see the arena go crazy. The celebration was on, and it's just what a moment for Lightning fans and the Lightning players and the team, everybody involved in this organization. A huge victory as the Lightning win this game 1-0 in game number 5.
Yeah, and I think some unsung credit goes to Barclay Goodrow in this period. That man was determined to win the Stanley Cup. He was so ready to win, and he was blocking everything. They did not get a single chance in that period that made me think that the Montreal Canadiens were going to tie it because of the defensive commitment on display from the Tampa Bay Lightning. And the Andre Vasilevsky Conn Smythe nomination, which we'll get to, the fact that he won the Conn Smythe was great. He stopped all 22 shots in this game, and he ultimately was the best goalie in the league this year for good reason. Like, he was amazing. And I don't know what else to say. Like, he's the best goalie in the league. He's had 5 consecutive series clinching shutouts.
What
Just
can you say?
unbelievable.
It is truly something special what we're witnessing Andre Vasilevsky. As you mentioned, he was the Conn Smythe winner. I think a lot of people knew it was between Kucherov and Vasi, but Vasi, again, as you mentioned, another series clinching shutout. How could you not give it to Andre Vasilevsky? He joined some elite company too, by the way. It's been a long time. Goalies do not often win the Conn Smythe Trophy, so another special big win for him, and the celebration was on in full swing. Stamp, and then I like what they did too. Bettman had called over the Lightning to do, because I don't know how this happened last year, but last year when the Lightning won the cup, everybody kind of came over for a big team picture with Bettman before they handed off the cup. So Bettman said, "Let's do it again this year," and they did. And then Stamkos once again gets to lift the cup. I'm sure this is a huge cup for him as well, as obviously he was happy to win it last year, but this time his fingerprints were all over this Stanley Cup run. He once again gets to lift another Stanley Cup. Let's talk about some of the players that like Alex Killorn. Now you mentioned Barclay Goodrow selling out the block shots. Looking at three different players block shots in this series that got hurt after blocking a huge shot. Luckily, Johnson and Goodrow both came back right away. But Killorn did not, unfortunately, when he blocked his shot. And then he told reporters during the post-game celebration that he had a broken fibula and he had gotten surgery to put a rod in it and was still going to try and play, which is why he was out there on warm-ups for game 4, I believe it was not able to go and couldn't play, wasn't able to do it again game 5. And he said in his post-game press conference that if it came to it, he was going to play in game 6 or game 7, no question. Which that is just, I don't understand how these players are able to do that. It shows how good a shape these guys are in, but impressive there from Alex Killorn. And boy, does he deserve this cup. You want to look up the definition of selling out to win the Stanley Cup? That's it right there.
Yeah, so I don't know if I necessarily agree with the fact that Alex Killorn would have been playing in game 6 or game 7, because that is extremely dangerous.
That's what he said.
I know, but this team just did so much, and they earned this cup. Like you'll see in the next couple of days detractors of this victory. Ignore them. This team fought through a lot. Granted, not as much as they did last year because they didn't have Steven Stamkos for the entirety of their run last year. But they fought through a lot this year. And what I'll say about the team as a whole is that they got contributions from everybody. You can look at the scoreboard. You can say, well, Nikita Kucherov had the most points on the team for the second consecutive year, reaching above 30 points, which is very admirable. Braden Point had the most goals. He tied his playoff record that he set last year for goals in a single postseason. But everybody contributed. Tyler Johnson, which is someone that we talked about as one of the guys that we wanted off the team. He was great in this finals, especially. Ross Colton, who struggled in game 4 on that top 6, was fantastic. Anthony Cirelli was a dynamo in the penalty kill. Same thing with Barclay Goodrow and Blake Coleman. Jan Ruda had a fantastic playoff. I don't want to hear it. He had a great playoff, and he capped it off by scoring 2 goals. The list goes on. And, the only thing I can really say that I disagree with is the Conn Smythe Trophy voting. I would have given it to Kucherov. I completely understand Andre Vasilevsky winning it, but I would have given it to Nikita Kucherov. At the end of the day, doesn't really matter. Tampa Bay Lightning are Stanley Cup champions.
Let us know in the comments down below. Who do you think deserved the Conn Smythe? Do you agree with Michael that maybe Kucherov should have gotten, or are you all on board with Andre Vasilevsky taking home the Conn Smythe? But nonetheless, like you said, Michael, it doesn't matter because the Tampa Bay Lightning are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. They are now only the 7th franchise in NHL history to do that, and they join elite company in doing so. And now, well, they look to do it a third time. That'll be really tough to do as a lot of changes are coming your way.
We need a break. We need a bit of a break before we go for the third time.
We do. Hey, there's a boat parade coming to celebrate. Have some fun with this, Bolts fans. We are witnessing history right now. But we'll have all that coverage for you in this off season. All the changes coming very soon. There's a big change coming our way very soon too. So be sure to subscribe. Ring that bell notification so you don't miss out on future videos just like that one. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And remember, your Tampa Bay Lightning. Well, I normally say are your defending Stanley Cup champions. They're still your defending Stanley Cup champions. Go Bolts.
Go Bolts.